Oh. You know, it's kind of funny. Last year I wasn't able to hit the ball that far because I was sick, and it got me thinking about life, and specifically the numbers of life, the things that I will or won't experience in my lifetime. And so that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about, well, the numbers of life. Now this park is about 286 feet, and occasionally I'll hit a ball over the fence. Now that ball that I just hit, for you guys, traveled about 200 feet before dying down. Well, that's what most of you would think. It actually traveled over 3,000 kilometers. Now why is that? Something that I find really cool, which most people don't really realize, is that you're traveling at about 1,100 kilometers per second right now. The Earth is rotating at about 1,600 kilometers an hour and is orbiting the sun at about 107,000 kilometers per hour. And I just heard some noise, but we're moving on. Our solar system as a whole is rotating around the center of the galaxy at about 885,000 kilometers per hour. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, it's debatable how fast it's traveling, but some say it could be traveling as fast as 3 million kilometers per hour through the universe. Now when you add that all up, it equals about 4 million kilometers per hour that you are traveling without even doing anything. You could be sitting on your couch and you'll be traveling 4 million kilometers per hour. Now that translates to about 1,100 kilometers per second. So that ball that I hit earlier was moving for about 3 seconds. So when you think about it, it probably traveled about 3,300 kilometers. So where am I going with all this? Well, I want to talk about life for a second, if I can get down these bleachers. If you're lucky and you live in a developed country and you have good genetics and you live in a healthy environment and do all the good lifestyle things right, let's just say you can live until you're 78 years old. 78 years is about 2.5 billion seconds, give or take. I think it's more about 2.4, but we're just gonna say 2.5 to give some round numbers here. So if you live until you're 78 years old, you're gonna live 2.5 billion seconds. And even if you don't really move that much, you're gonna be traveling about 2.7 trillion kilometers through the universe. Now let's go back a second here to that 78 years and 2.5 billion second thing. So did you know that 2/3 of all people that have ever lived past the age of 65 are alive today? Now this is because, a lot of things, infant mortality is much better, medicine, lifestyle is a little bit better and safer for the most part. During your lifetime, if you were to meet about 3 to 4 new people a day or interact with 3 to 4 new people a day, you're gonna meet somewhere between 80,000 and 100,000 people. And out of those people, about 150 are gonna be close to you, close friends, a family, partners. Actually, interesting, if you're a man, during your lifetime, you're supposed to have 10 sexual partners, and females are supposed to have about 7. And from what I could research, that number is just increasing, I guess, with social media and the fact that there's just a lot more people around you than there were 200 years ago. It's a lot easier to find, partners. I mean, think about it. Tinder. Tinder, you can just, if you match with somebody, you can go hook up with them. It's actually kind of funny. There was a study that I found online. It was conducted in England, and it showed that sexual partners in your lifetime have actually increased by about 2 over the past 3 decades. Pretty much since the internet's come around, people have been sleeping around a lot more. For most of this video, I've just been walking around in my sweats and running shoes. Did you know that you're supposed to take 185 million steps in your lifetime, assuming that you live to your 78. And you think about all those kind of crazy lifetime numbers, but there's some more. You're supposed to eat 38,000 kilograms of food before you die. And you're supposed to drink 70,000 liters of water before you kick the can. Your brain will come into contact with over 1 septillion bits of information, but will only store about 1 quadrillion bits of information. I know, only 1 quadrillion bits of information. Yet somehow my brain can't remember number 3 on any exam question. Did you know that your skin will fully replace itself 900 times in your life. Actually, one cool thing that I like to think about in terms of athletics is Michael Jordan. He took 40,000 shots in games in the NBA. That's a lot of shots. Now, he says that he took 10 to 100 shots for each shot that he took in a game. That's kind of confusing the way I worded that. So he's taken about 400,000 to 4 million basketball shots. Think about that. 4 million. I guess that's why he's the great one. You know, most people have a 9-to-5 job, even though that's kind of shifting recently. I think that the amount of self-employment has gone from 8 to 11% in the past decade, largely because of the internet. And you know, there's not factory jobs anymore like your parents had or your grandparents had. Now, most people who work at 9 to 5 will work about 100,000 hours in their life, which is about 350 million seconds. Now, surprisingly, that's not that large of a chunk of your life. I mean, it still is. It's about 14% of your life will be spent at your full-time job. But when you compare it to something about like how much time you'll spend in bed, not necessarily sleeping, but sleeping plus the time that, you know, you hit the snoozer and, you know, pretend to be sleeping and take sick days and stuff like that. You'll actually spend 33% of your life in bed. Ooh, there's a bunny. Ah, hi bunny. Do you see? Who's the cute bunny? You're the cute bunny. Run, bunny, run! So let's come full circle here. Remember how I said if you live a full life, you're gonna live 2.5 billion seconds. So now let's think about this for a second. Pardon the pun there. That was a complete accident. So something like Vine, those videos are 6 seconds long. One video will take up 0.0000024% of your life. Now that's just 6 seconds. So now let's think about a feature film like Captain America. Now that movie is about 2 hours and 24 minutes or 2 hours 27 minutes. That'll take up 0.0003528% of your life. So that kind of makes me think, how do you want to spend your life? Is watching a movie worth it? I would say, hell yes. So now let's kind of bring it back to why I made this video in the first place. You know, as I mentioned before, I was playing baseball, and that's what I did when I got sick. And I made that very public last year. You know, I had to start thinking about my mortality and what the meaning of life was. Maybe I should make a video on that. What is the meaning of life? And the answer is 42. So we got that covered. But yeah, what do you guys want to accomplish in your lifetime? And do you have any weird lifetime facts that I didn't mention in this video? These are just the ones that I kind of thought off the top of my head and did some math on. So if you have any cool lifetime facts, let me know. So thanks guys, that's all I really wanted to say on this Thursday, and that's all I really wanted to talk about, the numbers of life. Now stay tuned next Thursday. I'm excited for what Jabril will show us. See you guys next time.